Hi everyone. For this week's discussion, I decided to do Asian Americans. Um, Asian Americans, I do like the Asian culture. I like the food. I like the experiences, and I've met a lot of good people in that culture throughout my life. Um, Asian Americans are one of the most fastest growing and most diverse population in the United States. This can include, of course, Japanese, Chinese, South Asians like the Philippines, and then we have the Indian culture as well. Um, One significant issue that's facing Asian Americans now is racial discrimination and stereotyping. That I feel like is in every culture as well. Um, but Asian Americans are often associated with the model minority stereotype. I know when I went to college the first time, I went to Athens. Well, I was by Athens, and they always got the latest gadgets, and they always got their family got the latest phones or the updated things, and everyone's like, oh well, that's Asian money, and that's stereotyping. Or Asians are good at math. That's another microaggression stereotype that I've heard throughout the years. Research has shown that experiences of racism can negatively affect mental health and overall well-being among Asian Americans. I think that's among any culture, to be honest with you. That's coming from the article I read, and I will quote that at the end. Um, Another issue that I came up with researching was mental health underutilization and access to services. Um, Studies consistently show that Asian Americans are less likely than any other groups to seek professional mental health services. Some factors include stigma surrounding mental illness, which again I think is all cultures, especially this month. It's Men's Mental Health Month. Um, I've been talking to my clients on a regular to make sure they're keeping up on that because I work primarily with men at the moment. Um, Concerns about bringing shame to the family. You see a lot of this in Chinese cultures. Um, and they don't, oh my gosh, it's taboo to go to counseling or taboo to do this. Um, Language barriers. Um, I know that in schools, that they are inaugurating, they're doing more for that. Like Mandarin, Chinese is becoming more of a thing. Um, and then lack of culturally competent providers. Um, there's a lot of Asian cultures, for instance, that don't like eye contact. That's a big one. They see that as disrespectful. There's also other cultures out there that, for instance, don't let the women speak. They let the men speak. So as providers, we have to be competent enough to understand their culture, and I think to research it before we decide, hey, let's see them. Because me personally don't want to disrespect their culture at all. I think that the best approach would be person centered therapy for these guys. Um, because it emphasizes the empathy and respect, and we're being genuine when we're talking. When person centered therapy, we're letting them be who they are instead of who they are at home, per se, because that could be totally two different people. Um, these qualities help establish the trust and rapport. We want them to keep coming back. We want them to be uniquely them. Um, so, and of course, we're in a multicultural class, so multicultural counseling can work too. Um, you know, Understanding what happens at their house, at their home, their religion per se, to their beliefs, their attitudes towards things. Um, but again, one of the major barriers is the mental health stigma. Um, some Asian cultures believe that mental health struggles or struggles in general are to be kept in the household, um, and should be handled within the family rather than outside of the family. And we would be considered outside of the family. Um, so, as a professional counselor, I would work to reduce these barriers by practicing cultural humility and creating just a safe, respectful environment. Um, I want all my clients to feel safe, but when it comes to things like that, I would like to respect that too. My references are American Psychological Association 2023, Asian American Mental Health and Barriers to Treatment, and then Kim B.Y., Kendall D.L., and Chang E.C., 2021, Research on Mental Health Service Utilization Among Asian Americans and Cultural Barriers. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.